every time the conversation of the greatest of all time in no matter what field, every time like just that phrase GOAT comes up, I usually tune out. And it's simply because why should I participate in a conversation that is often rooted in patriarchy and borderline misogyny? Having conversations with boys about these topics genuinely scare me, because they will go to any lengths to prove that they are correct. They will go as far as invalidating not only your feelings, but also the accomplishments of the people that you are trying to defend or bring up. And so that got me thinking that why is it when we talk about the greatest of all time, or when guys talk about the greatest of all time, why aren't women a part of the conversation? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. It's insheeruh. If you don't know who I am, I'm insheeruh in Kansa. Insheeruh. I make lifestyle and commentary based videos. My commentary ranges from stuff such as faith and Christianity to being black, life stuff, topics that go in the black community, to music, fashion, film, and pop culture. If any of that interests you, please subscribe. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the whole greatest of all time conversation. And this is specifically a topic that is very prominent in the sports fields. I got this idea from a TikTok that I saw where they were talking about how Tom Brady should not be considered the greatest of all time. So in sports in general, apparently the greatest of all time is either Tom Brady or LeBron James. I understand why you say LeBron James. LeBron James has done a lot, not only for the community, like the black community, but also in basketball. He's a very successful basketball player with a very successful career in basketball. Tom Brady, his job is to throw a football. Maybe I just don't understand football, but that's literally all I've seen him do, throw a football. And then he wins a ring. And okay. But what I don't understand is why isn't Serena Williams a part of the conversation of the greatest of all time? Because if we're talking about successful careers, this woman has won 23 Grand Slam singles. The Grand Slam isn't like an NBA championship where you're competing against teams in America, or the Super Bowl where you're competing against other teams in America. This is like worldwide, top-notch level. So she's going against the best of the best all around the world. And she's won 23 of those. And she's not a part of the conversation? She won the Australian Open in 2017 whilst pregnant. Do you know how hard it is to walk down the stairs whilst pregnant, let alone play a whole tennis tournament and win? So why isn't she a part of the conversation? You see, it's not greatest male of all time in sports. That's not what you say. That's not what they say. They say the greatest of all time. Greatest, which is a gender neutral. I see it as a gender neutral term. Anybody can be great. A female can be great. A male can be great. No specific gender attached to it. So why aren't women a part of the conversation? You see, we have Florence Dolores Griffin Joyner, FloJo. I promise you a lot of you don't even know who she is. But she was the fastest woman of all time. And her world records in the 100 meter and 200 meter still stand to this day. No one has beat her. May her soul rest in peace. But why isn't she a part of the conversation of the greatest of all time? I mean, we talk about Usain Bolt, right? Is it because you've never heard of her? Because you've heard of Usain Bolt, so why have we heard of FloJo? It makes you think that why are the successes of men in these sports fields more praised and more pushed than the successes of females, of women? Women, specifically black women and other women of color, are continuously being left out of the conversation, and it sucks. I mean, and it's in any field, like whether it's the arts, like performing arts, entertainment, media, visual arts, or it's sports, or it's politics, or especially politics. Looking at from the outside looking in, when you look at the way female politicians are treated, the way you see these white men talk down on people such as AOC, I don't care what side you are on, who you side with, who you don't side with, what you believe in, that doesn't matter. You see a grown man insulting and continuously degrading a young Latina woman, and you don't say anything. That doesn't you don't see no red flags. Like, women are continuously being disrespected. Is your ego that fragile that the fact that someone of the opposite sex is being better than you is so life-threatening? See, when we talk about the best screenwriters and directors and filmmakers, you always hear names such as Quentin Tarantino, Jordan Peele, Steven Spielberg, but never Lena Waithe, Ava DuVernay, Greta Gerwig. Yes, maybe their films and projects aren't as pushed and praised by the media and critics, but that doesn't mean their work is not worth noting and paying attention to. It's not as if there aren't women in this field. You're just not willing to find them. When we talk about the best rappers, it's always Kendrick, Tupac, J. Cole, Drake. But no one ever brings up the woman. And if they do bring up women, they bring up Lauryn Hill. And I would be appalled if you did not bring up Lauryn Hill, because she has done such a huge service to hip-hop. And I personally don't believe you can call yourself a fan of hip-hop or melodic rap and that type of subgenre like neo-soul if you've never heard of Lauryn Hill or have listened to her music. That's simply what I think. Like, how do you listen to hip-hop and not know Lauryn Hill? Like, her music has been sampled in so many rapper songs. That's kind of embarrassing. Women are never included in this conversation, and the valid argument that men have for this is that they rap about shaking their butts and sex. Well, men rap about sex, drugs, guns, and murdering people, but a woman says bounce that, shake your butt, and all of a sudden that completely invalidates their eligibility to be a part of this conversation. And if you're saying, oh, well, they don't rap about real world problems, then you're not listening to the songs that you're supposed to. Okay, just because you have never heard them rap about it does not mean they don't. Just because you don't see water in a desert doesn't mean it's not there. Like, we're gonna sit here and act as if Nicki Minaj does not have the best flow in the game right now. We're gonna act as if she didn't eat up every male in that song. We're gonna act like her verse is not the only one we listen to. Lyrically, she's there. Flow wise, she's there. But what invalidates her is because she has boobs and a butt. Okay, so you don't want to include women that rap about sex. Okay, that's fine. We won't include those women. So how come we don't bring up Rico Nasty, who has a very creative rap style that goes unnoticed? How come we don't talk about No Name, who not only is lyrically talented, but her flow is so smooth, always talking about real world problems? How about Tierra Whack, Rhapsody, Lil Kim, Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper? There are so many women, upcoming, already there, veterans in rap. Just because you don't listen to them doesn't mean they're not there. Just because we don't see Oxygen doesn't mean it's not there. The men that have these conversations about the greatest of all time and leave out women, they go on to create these impossible standards for women in rap and say, don't rap about sex. Don't make it about your body. And then women are like, okay, I won't rap about sex. I won't make it about my body. I will rap about things that matter. They meet up to all these impossibly high standards that men put up that they don't even reach themselves. And then they say, okay, here's what you asked for. And they don't even invest, and then the men don't even invest their time into what they asked for. Why aren't these women a part of this conversation? What makes Travis Scott better than Tierra Whack? And if you're saying it's sales and awards At the end of the day, just because an artist wins an award or gets this many streams doesn't mean their music is always good. Have you seen Dixie D'Amelio? Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be bringing other people down. But just because someone gets more recognition doesn't mean someone that is underrated does not deserve that kind of praise and attention. And yes, the fields that I have talked about and mentioned are male dominated, but male dominant does not mean female deficient. There are women in almost every field. You are just not willing to take the chance to invest in them. There are female comedians. You just don't want to listen to them because you think they're not going to be funny. Women aren't funny. Who made you the judge of what's funny and what's not? I thought humor was subjective. Because that's y'all's first argument when someone tells you something's not funny. The first thing that they say when someone tells them they're not funny is, oh, humor is subjective. Okay, you're right. Humor is subjective. You know, what someone might find funny is what someone else won't find funny. That's true. I agree with that statement. But subjection does not equal exclusion. Being subjective does not mean you could be exclusive. Humor is not exclusive to only men. The STEM field, science, is not exclusive to only men. You know what? Something they always say is that behind every great man is a powerful woman. And I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly, 100%. Why do you think God created Eve? He knew Adam needed Eve. Adam couldn't do it all alone. There's always a woman. Behind Barack Obama was Michelle Obama. Behind Abraham was Sarah. I'm tired of women not being in the conversation. Women aren't allowed to sit at the table that they themselves have prepared. We make the food, we give the life, we provide advice, we provide advice and help and give a shoulder to cry on and inspiration. The least you can do is say our names. The least you could do is give credit where credit is due. Give credit where credit is due. The least you can do is give praise that they deserve. But no, that's too much. It's not too much. Everybody wants recognition. If you're willing to give recognition to these men, you should be willing to give recognition to these women. And then going back to the greatest of all talk, where we started, I don't expect you to have the female. I don't expect you to have women as the topic in like the conversations of greatest of all time. But I expect you, I'm talking to like the boys, I expect you to include women in the conversation. Because there are some girls that know music better than you do, no matter what you think. But you invalidate their feelings automatically because they're girls. And I don't like that. I don't like that because she could have some really good input, but you would never know because you decided to judge her by what accessories that she carries on her body. So I challenge you, whether woman or man, next time you have a talk about like great accomplishments, include women. Include women, because I'm tired of women not being a part of the conversation, and I know a lot of women are tired of not being allowed to talk. We have ideas too. Anyways, yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching if you made it to the end. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about this topic down below. I have like 3 other videos that I'm working on, so keep an eye on that. Follow my Instagram to get more updates on like the process of my videos and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out, stay lovely, remember God love you, I love you, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, bye.